So, do you hate your job? Have you dreamed of quitting, but for whatever reason you have life events that you can't? What if we were to have a conversation about the fastest way to replace your income, replace the W 2? We're having this conversation with the concierge to small business lending, the one and only Bo Erickson, who, oh, by the way, is hosting a free event on July 19th. We can't forget about it because it is going to be a must attend with myself, Tom Wheelwright, and many, many others. Bo, let's talk about replacing your W 2 income. What do you got?
Sure. So we talk about getting into a gateway business. You might keep your W-2 job because perhaps you don't have enough in reserves. So we get you into a gateway business. Gateway business starts producing cash flow. Give it 12, 18, 24 months. Now you have more cash flow coming in, which helps you step into another business. And really, that's the whole purpose, because you might not be able in the position to quit your job today. But if that is your ultimate goal, a gateway business would be a good option. So what are gateway businesses? Vending, of course. We have coffee as a franchise model, coffee as a subscription model. You put a coffee machine in. Every time somebody's pouring a cup, you're billing the employer 90 cents a cup, 80 cents a cup. Very good, sticky, recurring revenue model that you don't need a lot of employees. So that's another example of a gateway business. We have another one, which I actually might be doing, Zuber. It's I like this business model because we were talking before about being vertically integrated and having multiple streams of income, right? Once you get a taste of entrepreneurship, it's like a drug. And the drug is, I want more entrepreneurship. I want more streams of income. So one of the franchise models, I just did a webinar on it yesterday, actually. It's a indoor digital billboard franchise model. So the objective is to get 50-inch TV screens in venues, bars, restaurants, grocery stores. Okay. Now we're not playing TV shows on those screens. So I'm going to have, let's just say I buy the territory I'm thinking about doing here in Las Vegas, which is all around Fremont Street. I would then put up 50 screens, and then in the venues, they're getting it for free. So I go to you own the bar, Zuber, and I'm like, Zuber, I'm going to put this 50-inch TV in your bar, and in return for that, I'm going to run ads for your bar on 20 of my screens throughout Las Vegas. And then once I have my screens put out, I go get advertisers at a couple $100 each per month. Now the business is running. I can do this alongside my W-2. But wait, there's more. The reason I like it for me is because I'm going to advertise my SBA and my franchise consulting business for free with thousands of people seeing these screens. So to me, I like the vertically integrated businesses.
Yeah, it's funny you bring this up. Again, I've often admitted to you privately and on video, I'm sure, that I don't see myself as an entrepreneur. I think you were born to be an entrepreneur, not me. I'm an employee. However, creating content or creating a brand in 2018, I'm shocked at how many kind of income streams have spun off this little YouTube channel, right? This YouTube channel led to a book, a second book, an Audible book, a course, a school community, and many, many other things. I went and counted the other day, and there are 16 income streams that all come from, frankly, this YouTube channel, right? With the newest one coming out of nowhere, all of a sudden out of nowhere, Spotify, which I've been posting on for 5 years. I have 10.3 million listens. They just started sending me a check. I'm like, where did this come from? Right? I don't know if people think it's big or not, but it's $600 a month. That's $7,000. And the beauty of all of these 16 income streams, no employees, no marketing, so all margin, and all I do is create original content, on YouTube. And I have 15 other income streams, right? So if you consider YouTube active, which it is, right? I do 3 videos a day, but the other 15 are completely passive. It's shocking to me. I had no idea.
And that's why I love entrepreneurship. So I think you are an entrepreneur now because this has opened your mind. You're like, wait a second. I think your employee hat is off. And now you're a full-on entrepreneur now. Now you really have gotten a taste of this whole new, income stream. The reason you liked real estate, it was predictable. You could
Mhm.
build cash flow and build wealth. Well, now you learn this
Well, I
whole
think the
new.
real thing about real estate, just to be clear, the thing that I loved about real estate and not stocks is I felt like I can build a competitive advantage. I'm not on Wall Street. I didn't go to the right universities. I have no inside knowledge and I don't understand the language of stocks. But real estate, the beauty of real estate is it's not a perfect market. You can always find a way to create value, find a motivated seller, do creative things. That's the thing that kept me attracted to real estate. And now this brand thing, this entrepreneur thing, the thing again, people don't understand how shocked I was. I did this as a exercise for my accountant over the weekend. And I just went through my various accounts and LLCs and all that stuff. And I'm like, holy cow. I've got 16 income streams because I create YouTube content. I'm like, that's insane. I had no idea.
So I guess the message of this show today is you you have to get started. Get started with.
That's exactly the key. Yes.
Yes, you have to get started. And often when I talk about YouTube, because I have a YouTube channel, not as big as yours, but it actually has a lot of income streams too. Not 16, but probably
It's
4.
growing. Yeah.
Right.
I'm
Four
sure
or
it's growing.
five, 4 or 5 for sure, different little income verticals. So I don't get a ton of views, but the people that find my content are looking and they have search intent. So I tell people this all the time because I often get newer franchise consultants and they schedule time because they're struggling and they can't get any people that are interested in getting into a business and they can't do their job. And I'm like, well, when you really think about it, first of all, you have to share your knowledge into one to many. When you can share your knowledge one to many, that's going to help. And then once you start getting the wheel spinning, you realize that you need to have multiple streams of income. Like you wouldn't just want one door. You'd want probably at least 4 doors, right? Because you have to have
Correct.
diversification. If somebody moved out, you still have 3 other doors that are covering your debt and hopefully a little bit of profit. So as an entrepreneur, you want buckets of streams of money coming in. So you might have, I do a little bit of investing into merchant cash advances. I'm just recycling my money. I'm never going to touch it. Just keep on growing. I put in $1,000 a month and just let it grow, reinvest, buy real estate. Now the tax bills changed a little bit. So we're now looking at once you start making a certain amount of income, how do I keep that income? And that's strategic tax strategy. If you come to the event on July 19th, Tom Wheelwright, CPA, will be there and he might give you some nuggets, I'm sure. So all these things play together, but you have to get in the game. And that's why I think franchising is a great way to get in the game, because you can go from being a corporate employee to owning your own business with the easiest path, because you're going to have a team, a coach, a playbook. You're going to have a marketing division helping you. So it's improbable that you'll fail. Can you fail? Yeah. If you're a complete moron, you probably could. But if you invest in the right business model, you're probably not going to fail for you. As long as you
The
do
thing
work.
about replacing your W-2 income is there's a couple of rules, having done it now a couple of different times. One is you got to start. And, as I've shared in this story of 16 income streams, which I had no idea, the thing I didn't say is they didn't all start at once. It all started with YouTube, then it led to a book, and these were years apart, right? So again, it will compound. You will get that escape velocity, but you've got to start, right? You're not going to replace your income tomorrow, but you can start tomorrow, right?
Yes.
And that's what a lot of people need to understand is you need to have the vision, the dream, but at the end of the day, you've just got to do the work. I mean, that's the thing that I now appreciate as my superpower. When I focus or set a goal, it's kind of all consuming. There's no balance. I don't have balance. But even if you take half of what I do, you can get there. You won't get there as fast, but you can get there. And I just want people to know it's possible. And again, as somebody who was wired to be an employee, I now have replaced my income multiple times. First with the real estate portfolio, replaced my income by 3 or 4x. Now this crazy 16 streams of income has replaced it a couple more times, completely by accident. And it's just proof positive that if you're willing to do the work, get a little bit better every day, keep going, stop whining, amazing things can happen.
I love that. I feel the same way. I mean, it's just, look, you're not going to get results overnight, but if you just keep doing it. And when I was at lunch with you a couple weeks ago, and you're like, yeah, I'm going to get under 10% body fat at 53 years old. And the first month, I didn't change my diet. I just did miles. And then I was like,
Yep.
okay, well, if Zuber's just doing miles and I have a trouble because of losing extra pounds because I love to eat, but what if I just, instead of focused on lifting all day, I actually did some lifting, but did at least 5 miles a
Miles.
day on,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And so then I build it up where I'm doing 20 miles, most of it on a bike. So it's not like running a day. And I do it in an hour and a half. And then I reach my goal because calories in, calories out. I'm always expending more calories. It's not rocket science. It's just that daily discipline you talk about. So
Yeah.
for the people that are watching this today, it's like, what are you doing today? And
Yeah.
quite honestly, I think if you have a cushy W-2 job, you should keep it for a while and build up these side hustle businesses. Get
Yes.
a semi absentee business like vending or something. Get the tax write off. Get a little bit of cash flow coming in.
Yeah,
Then
I love the
buy over
fact that
10.
lots of ORAT community are buying these vending machines, these AI vending machines. It makes perfect sense, right? Oftentimes you attract the content creator attracts their tribe. So these are probably people that above average income, maybe oh my god, even like their job. Don't tell anybody, but still they know that they're one AI bot away from being replaced. So go buying 10 vending, getting a loan, getting them out there, building it up while you're employed. It's the perfect starter business. I really think more people should start with vending because it's brings you the tax advantages. It's a small business. You can employ your kids if you happen to have any of the right age. And I just think there's so much there.
Yeah, I definitely think, I mean, I'll always love real estate, and I still this day I think real estate is the way on top of business ownership. But I was talking to an ORAT guy the other day, and he was like investing out of state, and it's like he's like, yeah, I got two. I'm like, well, what's your cash flow? He's like, well, I'm like, is the housing stock old? He's like, yeah, it's like early 1900s. I'm like, you're not going to get cash flow on those assets. Like I can,
Yeah,
unless
the
you're there.
spreadsheet's gonna lie.
Yeah, and I'm like, you're better off. And like, how much did you put down on those two properties? I'm like, well, what if you got into vending and did it local, and then you saved up enough money to buy something within a 2.5 hour radius, like Zuber
Yeah,
talks about? I'm like, that to me makes a lot more sense. And I've done out of state investing, and I can
yeah,
tell
you
you,
have.
my cash
Yeah,
flow wasn't where it should be. So I much would rather do one. He's between him and his wife, they're pretty high paid W-2. They need tax write offs, vending, get the kids involved in the
yeah.
business, pay them, get all the write-offs you can, take that extra cash flow. Then that gives you the down payment to buy a better asset closer to you where you can go make sure and walk the property. If you can't go see the property, it's just way harder.
It's a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, we're doing an event together, hopefully the first of many, July 19th. We will put the link below. Actually, it's right there, onerentalmeeting.com. They go register. Folks, this is the only time, let me say that one more time, the only time it will be free. We want to try it out. We don't want to have any risk. We want to see you there. We want feedback. We want to make the next one even better, but this is going to be amazing. Tom Realrate. We're going to talk laundry, vending, boutique hotels, as I recall, and much, much more. Bo, closing thoughts?
No, just go to onerentalmeeting.com. Go ahead and reserve your ticket to the event on July 19th. And then if you're ready to move forward and want to talk about a business that would fit for you, we have a whole process our team takes you through. We give you a business assessment. We do an intake, and we create a buy box or a business thesis for you on what would make the most sense. And then if you're like, hey, this all looks good, I go, but wait, there's more. Our CPA will meet with you that I work with, and he'll do a free consultation with you. What type of business entity makes sense for tax purposes, how to fund it, all these kind of things that you need to know. And then you put all those pieces together, and then you make a decision down the road. Hey, does this business make sense for me from all these different factors? And then once you get a taste of business ownership, then, the goal is eventually for you to have 7, 10, 16 income streams coming in from different verticals, right? And if Michael didn't shoot 14,000 videos, he would not have been here today, right? And so
Correct.
and if he would have stopped after number 2,000 video, which most people stop after the first before they hit 10
Yeah.
podcast episodes. So if he would have stopped, he wouldn't have created this whole new ecosystem of 16 streams. That could almost be a book right there.
Really could be.
That's a great story
Yeah.
of
I
like
think,
that.
16 income streams. Yeah. That
I
might
just
be a
like,
book in there.
yeah, 16 streams. And that's like, even if it's just an ebook, or even if
Yeah.
it's like, because that's just, it's also about, taking what knowledge you have and sharing it with the world. And when you do a good thing, meaning you're sharing your knowledge, so you're helping thousands of people become financially independent over time, right? People are buying their first rental property. People are buying a vending machine. People are taking steps so they can get these income streams. I think that's such a powerful message, because we want to build our own economy, especially in this world. Build your own economy, up, down. You want to win the game. Winning the game is being financially free and being healthy.
Yeah. And then the last thing about these income streams that was really, really shocking to me is I'm only active in one of them. All I do is produce YouTube content, and the other 15 streams happen by accident. I have no team, no marketing, no VA, no sales funnel, no landing page, no nothing. And they still show up each and every month. Folks, I will see you July 19th. Get there. Go to onerealmeeting.com. Thanks, buddy. Take care.